this last body of work I've called Dichotomy. So here is a collection of the works, and most of these are actually, they started off as collages. This collection of work references aspects of the figure's depth, her vulnerability, her strength, and they hold a lot of tension and contradiction. So at this point, I was still sick, but I was further in, and I think I had already done my treatment. So I had this really intense treatment that I did for a period of time, and it made me quite sick because the treatment, sometimes the medicine can be quite difficult, and so it made me very sick, and I had to recover from the treatment after I had taken the treatment to recover from the problem in the first place. And so this work was trying to learning how to hold that contrast between, you know, getting sick to get better, and also just the contrast that I had to carry. You know, I was holding on to the sort of the playfulness, but also the fear. I was holding on to the sort of the softness and even the fragility, but also in contrast with the strength and the fierceness that I needed to have to kind of get through this. And it was also in some ways a direct rebellion to the impulse to flatten a person, to kind of that one thing. You know, we'll often look at people just instinctively. I think it's just part of human nature to kind of look at a person and say, well, you are this, you are that, and you are that. And we don't kind of look at them long enough and get to know them well enough to understand the depth of all the things that might be in a person, and how maybe that one thing that you can see about them doesn't define them. I wanted to explore that with this work, and I also wanted to explore how those different parts that make up a person can also be in tension with each other. You know, they're not all one big unified kind of happy family. There's sort of this kind of tense kind of thing that can happen where we kind of, all the parts of ourselves, you know, the ones that people see and the ones that they don't see, kind of somehow we kind of work together and kind of move through life as sort of one big unit. And it's a bit of a miracle to me that we can even do that, you know. And I found that by making these collages and then moving them into paintings, which I did these some of them as larger paintings as well. It helped me to really start to see and appreciate the different parts of me that maybe were more hidden before this process. So I was really just exploring what it meant to go through the world in this space and how to be. So especially here in this one, I've got this I call it the Holy Mother, and it's this image of this woman, and I was learning again, or I was expressing this thing that I was learning about how we're never going to be perfect. We're never kind of going to get there. At least I certainly didn't appear to be. So I've got this figure who's a bit of a mess. You know, she's got her, you know, parts of her legs are kind of there, parts of them aren't. There's too many of them. It's a bit confusing. There's lines, there's form, it's flat, it's round, what is it? But then she's got this sort of this dignity to her and this integrity that I think she's holding as she's here. And there's this kind of halo around her, sort of hinting at this kind of holiness as is, you know, this sort of good enough.